but I don't see him taking a quarterback. Um, I see them. Well, it's the New York Jets. Okay, the New York Jets need a quarterback, and I'm saying this because it depends on what happens. If Marcus Mariota is there, which I think he will be, so I don't think any team's gonna trade up for him. But if he's there, I think that they'll take Mariota. If he's not, I think they take that line. I think they take Dante Flower out of Florida. I think they take Flower out of Florida. Dante Flower, just like with Shane Ray, I think he'll make a great outside linebacker. Just like with Ray, Dante Flower, depending on what you play, you can line up in different formations. If you play a 4-3, he'll make a great edge rusher on the defensive line. You can play DE, defensive end. If you play a 3-4, you can line him up at outside linebacker, and he can still be a great edge rusher there. So he's a very versatile player. And I think Shane Ray will go to the Redskins at 5. I think Dante Flower will go to the Jets at 6. So I think they both pretty much similar. I think Shane Ray has a little more talent than Flower, but I think Dante Flower will go number 6 to the Jets. I think he'll help that team a lot. He'll give them a pass rush that they lacked last year. Now, as far as for Marcus Mariota, like I said, he can go to a plethora of places. A lot of teams want him. A lot of teams looking to trade up for him. I still have a feeling that he'll go to the Chicago Bears. The Bears pick number 7, and I think Marcus Mariota will go to the Chicago Bears only because I think Marcus Mariota will be a perfect fit in Chicago. His best fit would be Philadelphia because obviously his college coach Chip Kelly's there. But if he's going to go anywhere outside of Philadelphia, I like him in Chicago only because Chicago Bears offensive coordinator Adam Gase has proved to be very versatile. We saw the work he did with Tim Tebow. We saw what he did with Peyton Manning. And so Adam Gase has the ability to fit a system based on his quarterback. So whatever Marcus Mariota's strengths are, Adam Gase will find a way to highlight that. At the same time, the Bears, they don't want Jay Cutler, looking to get rid of Jay Cutler. I still have a feeling that they're going to trade Jay Cutler. Somebody's going to take him. I know they can't cut him because it will hurt their salary cap. Even if they do cut him, they still have Marcus Mariota they can get on the cheap. And not only that, but I still think they'll draft Marcus Mariota anyway at number 7 only because they can cut Jay Cutler next year. Because next year it won't affect the cap as it would this year. So you can still draft Mariota, have him sit on the bench for like a year, have Jay Cutler fuck up like he has been the last 2 or 3 years. Keep Mariota on the bench. Then next year, get rid of Cutler. You can have Mariota start. Plain and simple. The Chargers did it. Chargers did it about 12 years ago with Phillip Rivers. They had Drew Brees, who was not all that great when he was a Charger. He struggled, very inconsistent. They drafted Phillip Rivers. They had Drew Brees, start for about a year or two, and then when Drew Brees was a free agent, they let him walk, go to New Orleans, and then they just stepped Phillip Rivers right in. I think Chicago could easily do the same thing with Jay Cutler and Marcus Mariota. So I have Marcus Mariota going number 7 to the Chicago Bears. Even though it'll be interesting to see where he goes, because like I said, a lot of teams are vying for that number 2 spot. So right now, I think Tennessee keeps number 2, and I think Mariota will fall to number 7 to the Chicago Bears. Even though, like I said, if he's still there at number 6, it wouldn't surprise me at all if the New York Jets take him. But right now, I have Mariota number 7 to the Bears. All right, number 8, the Atlanta Falcons. Falcons, they're another team that needs help on defense. Atlanta had by far the worst defense in the NFL last year. Offensively, they're stacked. Defensively is where they need help. And so because of that, I have them taking Trey Wayne out of Michigan State, cornerback out of Michigan State. I think it will really help that secondary. Even though John Gruden's not all that high on him. And a lot of people think that the Falcons will take Vic Beasley. But I can see the Falcons taking Trey Waynes at number 8 and help out that secondary. Even though number 8 might be too high for him, but I have him going 8 to Atlanta. As far as Vic Beasley's going, I have him going number 9 to the New York Giants. Giants, another team where if everybody can stay healthy, offensively, I think they're stacked. Eli Manning last year had one of the best seasons of his career. The problem for the Giants last year was on defense. So I think Vic Beasley, the linebacker at Clemson, I think he can help that defense a lot. And I think it would be a perfect fit for the New York Giants. Now, number 10 for the St. Louis Rams. I'm not even sure if this is even a good pick anymore. Originally, I had the Rams taking Jalen Collins, the corner from LSU. So I thought that he would be he'd be a great fit for St. Louis, help out that secondary. I still think the Rams are maybe a player or two, a quarterback away from making the playoffs. And I think they might have that quarterback in Nick Foles. I think they have that quarterback now, Nick Foles. I think Nick Foles is good enough just to get St. Louis over the hump and possibly make a run at the wild card spot. So I think Nick Foles could be enough to get him over the hump and get a wild card spot. And I think that Jalen Collins, the corner of the LSU, can help that secondary. Now, Collins, again, just like with Shane Ray, has some issues with the ganja. And for me, it's not that big of a deal only because we're a college student, doesn't smoke weed. But with that being said, some people might look down on that. For me, I think Collins would be a perfect fit in St. Louis. He has the size, he has the speed, he's athletic. He could be a shutdown corner. I have the Rams taking him at number 10. Not only that, he's also from Missouri anyway, even though that might not matter because the Rams will be moving to L.A. next year. All right, at number 11, I have Minnesota taking Todd Gurley, running back out of Georgia. And I always want to have the Vikings taking Gurley because even though they do need help on defense, especially that secondary, they also need help at the offensive line to help protect Teddy Bridgewater. But I haven't taken Todd Gurley because the whole Adrian Peterson situation is still up in the air. And depending on what happens with Adrian Peterson, I can see Minnesota taking a running back at that spot at number 11. And it wouldn't surprise me if they take a Gurley. So that's my other reason for taking Gurley anyways, because of the Adrian Peterson situation and how that may or may not play out. But I don't know. I think they're gonna take Todd Gurley. I really do. Now, number 12, the Cleveland Browns. Cleveland Browns, from what I hear, are not sold on Johnny Manziel. They really want Marcus Mariota. I don't think they're gonna get Mariota. And even though a lot of people have this guy, dropping down to the second round, it wouldn't surprise me if Cleveland takes him at this spot. But at number 12, I got Cleveland taking Brett Hundley. I think they'll take Brett Hundley at number 12, even though the consensus pick is that they will take Danny Shelton, the defensive tackle from Washington. But at number 12, I got him taking Brett Hundley. And I know that might be a little bit of a reach, but I can see it happening. At number 13, I think New Orleans will take Randy Gregory from Nebraska. I think Randy Gregory, again, New Orleans, just like Atlanta, piss poor defense. New Orleans is another team, too, I think needs a quarterback because Drew Brees is getting older, and there's rumors that they might take a quarterback in this draft, but that won't be until later on, maybe in the second or third round, maybe even fourth round, so that they can groom as Drew Brees ages. Some New Orleans can groom for the future. But at number 13, I think they're going to take Randy Gregory, the linebacker out of Nebraska. Because I think that he's a speed outside, he's a speed rusher, so if you're playing that dome, it could help. And again, Gregory, another problem is that he's another one that had a problem with the ganja, which could also be a negative, a red flag for a lot of these teams. All right, number 14, we go to the Miami Dolphins. And at Miami Dolphins at number 14, I got them taking Andrews Pete, offensive lineman, left tackle from Stanford. And Miami, they need help at the offensive line. I think Ryan Tannehill took a lot of steps last year. As he continues to get better and continue to grow. And what they need to do is they need to surround him with more talent and protect him. And so they added Greg Jennings for the wide receiver. I think they're going to draft the offensive lineman and solidify that left tackle spot because I think Miami, in my opinion, is one of the worst offensive lines in the NFL, as they can't even run the ball to save their lives. So I think Andrews Pete is going to go number 14 to the Miami Dolphins. 15, you have the San Francisco 49ers. And at 15, I think the 49ers are going to take Eric Armstead from Florida State. I think Armstead will be a help as a defensive end. This is a team that needs help on the defensive line. I didn't hear about defense in general. They lost a lot of players to retirement, free agency, especially with Justin Smith retiring. I think he'll make a nice replacement for Justin Smith. And I have them taking Eric Armstead from Florida State. I think the 49ers will take him. I think he'll make a perfect fit in San Francisco. And I think with their head coach, Jim Tomsula, defensive line coach, I think he can mold him, help him out a lot. And I think he'll be a great fit in San Francisco. All right, number 16 with the Houston Texans. And at number 16, I got the Houston Texans taking T.J. Clemmings. T.J. Clemmings at Pittsburgh. Houston, another team. They need help on the offensive line. They think that Ryan Mallett could be the quarterback of the future for that team. And so if he is, they have to find a way to protect him. They went defensive line last year. I think this year they can go offensive line. I think they're going to take T.J. Clemmings from Pitt to help solidify that offensive line. And like I said, Houston, in my opinion, is the same situation as St. Louis. And that is, they're a quarterback away from making it to the playoffs. And I think that Ryan Mallett may have the talent to do it. We don't know yet. Because in his only start last year, he got hurt. To the back, second start, he got hurt. In his first start against Cleveland, I think they won. So, yeah. So I think they'll go T.J. Clemmings at number 16 for the Houston Texans. Now, Danny Shelton, who everybody thinks is going to go to Cleveland at number 12, I have him falling to 17 to San Diego. And I think San Diego will take Danny Shelton from Washington.